MFL Marmac Wrestling Club from Monona, Iowa. Thanks for your support.
And welcome back to Carver Hawkeye Arena alongside Mark Ironside, Stephen Grace. We are at 141 pounds. Dan LeClere for the Hawkeyes, number 9, taking on freshman Garrett Scott with a 12-2 record for Penn State. Hawkeyes lead the dual meet 18-6.
I believe this is the first match that Penn State's brought Garrett Scott out of redshirt. Garrett Scott, a true freshman, very long and lanky, strong 141-pounder. And normally it's Jake Strayer here at 141 pounds.
I was a little surprised when I didn't see Strayer here at 141. Been ranked as high as number 2.
This Garrett Scott, he's a tough. He's one of like the #1 recruits in the country last year.
It's there. Scramble situation and potentially dangerous called as LeClere had that leg up underneath. Garrett Scott had it kind of cranked underneath his belly. LeClere was on top, very close to the takedown, but Scott still had that leg.
Today's hometown hero is Iowa heavyweight Matt Fields. The Iowa Athletic Department would like to welcome all
exactly 1 minute gone by here in this first period.
Surrounding area. Thanks for your support of Iowa wrestling.
Looks like Mark Scott's wrestled a couple times here. He lost 6-3 to Nathan Morgan of Oklahoma State. He did defeat Nick Gallic 18-0 up at the National Duels last weekend.
So they have run off for a while.
As LeClere takes a shot. Scott, again, long and lanky, able to keep those legs back.
He's really, this Garrett Scott, like you said, he's long, lanky. He's doing a good job keeping those legs back. He's very comfortable out there. There's LeClere trying to get on that shot, and Garrett Scott tries a wizard and a far knee pick. Then LeClere comes back in a single leg with zone. Garrett Scott trying looks like to be like a lot of junk, a lot of funk here. And LeClere having a really hard time wrestling. He actually tried the banana split just a second ago, and Garrett Scott just kind of hard. He's just one of those guys that are really hard to wrestle. Now he catches LeClere in a Rico roll, but LeClere does a good job and stays with that leg.
He's got that leg. Now he stands up with it, tries to elevate.
And that's what he did before, and he did. Garrett Scott rolled him through like a neck. Now he's trying to get Dan LeClere's leg to get that kind of like the banana splits there. And, you know, Dan LeClere, he's smart. He can feel that stuff coming. That's what I'm telling you. Dan LeClere, he's a really good wrestler, and he knows where he's at.
Yeah. And now he's got a takedown awarded.
2 points, LeClere.
Scott still reaching back, trying to get that leg. LeClere extended, hanging on tight around the bottom of that ankle. LeClere trying to stand up with it and really get good position. And
there's a 2-point reversal here. No.
Stalemate called. Scott tried to hook LeClere's leg.
But I thought once you step over that leg, it'd be maybe that's only on the feet. You step over, when you cut in the corner, you step over the ankle like that, it'd be a 2-point takedown. But LeClere might have got a break there.
Off the whistle, Dan drops down to the ankle.
Hits a switch. Scott hits a switch on LeClere. LeClere's got a deep waist in. He's trying to get that far deep waist and wrist. He rides him out the rest of the period. 30 seconds built towards the grind time. He's up to a 2-0 lead. He's got to be careful against Scott, though. Scott's got a good, and LeClere smartly, I think, here chooses neutral.
Again, long and lanky, and we've seen, you know, kind of like Mark Perry, just likes to get those legs in and do some funky stuff. So Dan will be content to wrestle on his feet. Snaps. Scott actually goes right into a double leg and takes LeClere down.
LeClere snapped Scott right there, but he really didn't move his legs at all. And basically snapped him right into his own legs. So picking neutral there really kind of backfired on LeClere right there as he gave up a takedown, and now Scott's on top of him anyway.
Scott has Dan's left arm up underneath his chest, trying to crank him across with the leg. 1:20 to go. 2-2 is our score. And riding time here shortly will be counting up in favor of Scott. Again, trying to crank LeClere over. He's got that left leg now hooked up. And Dan actually almost in the splits right now, showing some flexibility. Scott now lets go of the leg, continues to ride.
LeClere's trying to build his base there. Scott's just doing a great job putting a lot of pressure on him right there. Now LeClere gets his base built right on the edge. Scott trying to roll him kind of out of bounds onto the edge right there. LeClere kind of trying to stay in bounds.
And now back to his base. Scott hanging out. There's a stall warning against LeClere.
Warning for stalling on Iowa's LeClere.
LeClere's just trying to be smart here. The stall warning against LeClere. He's just not trying to do anything too crazy, to give up anything. They go out of bounds, come back to center. 24 seconds left to go, and Scott has 50 seconds built towards his own riding time, and it's going to be Scott's choice. Scott's choice come next period. And if Scott was smart, he'd probably pick the top position. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here. LeClere very big if he gets an escape here.
He's up to his feet, drop down quickly into that sit out.
He's got to get his leg free. He's got to get that leg free.
And Scott comes up and actually tries to get a cradle, but Dan able to scramble through. He's got 10 seconds, and LeClere actually in on the leg.
Watch his knee. Watch his knee.
Dan picks him up, tries to dump him across, and Scott hanging on to the foot.
I would think it'd be a 1.
And they're going to say no points were awarded there. So it's 2, 1:14 of riding time for Scott. And Scott will choose down to start this period.
It's awful important that LeClere ride him here for 14 seconds. Really important that LeClere ride for 14 seconds here. But it's also important that him not give up, a reversal and only an escape.
Off the whistle. Dan drops down to the ankle. Scott up to a tripod. Tries to roll through. Dan goes with him. Tries to pull him into his lap. Now he's erased the riding time.
Yeah, and he's actually in trouble right now. LeClere's kind of hoping for a stalemate. There it is.
Stalemate. In the second quarter
Coach Brand says, cut him.
Pro football game, it's New England 7, San Diego 6.
And off the whistle, Dan optional start. And Scott just hanging out.
Push him out of bounds. Run him out of bounds.
LeClere almost pushed him all the way out as he just kept his head down.
This is what I don't like here right here. Garrett Scott, referee's got to be looking at that. LeClere, pushes him all the way to the edge, trying to let him go, and Scott just goes to the edge, and he just stands on the edge. He doesn't make any attempt to circle back into the center. Right now, Dan LeClere's got to remain calm here, though, in the fact that he can't get caught doing something dumb, because this Garrett Scott's a very, very dangerous wrestler. Awfully dangerous.
3-2, Scott's in the lead with 1:05 to go here, third period. LeClere tries to drop in for a shot from a ways away.
Bad shot by LeClere.
1 minute remaining.
Scott catches him in the front headlock. Dan trying to stand up. He's actually kind of in a tripod. There's a stalemate called.
Stalemate.
And right off the whistle.
Come on,
Dan
LeClere.
again with that inside tie.
You got to beat him up. He's got to move him. He's got to beat him up with his hands. There's a snap. That's what you got to do
Now he
against a guy
goes,
like that.
counters off of it into a single.
Stay
Tries
up on
to
your
elevate.
feet. Stay up on your feet. Now he's got to get behind that leg.
Now he reaches across as Scott's showing the splits, but he's almost got like a far side whizzer in. Similar situation to what we had earlier. Dan trying to lift arm up, reaches across. There is the takedown. 20 seconds to go. LeClere score at 4-3. And Scott actually trying to crank on that far arm. And there is a stalemate with 15 seconds to go. This Hawkeye crowd to their feet, trying to spur Dan LeClere to a tough victory.
He's got to ride him here.
He's got 15 seconds. He's got to ride. He leads by a point. Riding time will not be a factor. Off the whistle, drops down to that leg. Scott trying to get up.
He's got to be careful not to give up a reversal here.
Scott reaches back. Dan does a good job staying with
Scott
it.
just put his head down to quit with 7 seconds left.
Dan LeClere, hard fought 4-3 victory over Garrett Scott. Hawkeyes on top, 21-6. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back with more Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield Sports.